Good morning and welcome to Community Connections with Children's Services Council of St. Lucie County. I am just one of your humble hosts, Sean Boyle, and with me is
Ashley Mock.
And welcome to the half-hour radio. Let me make sure I get all three of these right. I've been practicing, not really. Welcome to the radio show that airs every Sunday on 104.5 The Flame, thanks to our wonderful partnership, and I should say every Sunday at 10 a.m. Also, because in a pandemic, when you're not allowed to go into the studio, you record the radio program on Zoom, and then the demand to have a video program still is up there, even though we're allowed back in the studio. So we record it via Zoom. That's available on our YouTube page. Just look up Children's Services Council, St. Lucie County. But also because being on a radio program and having a YouTube isn't enough for us, this show is also a podcast. So if you want to subscribe, just look up, open up your favorite podcast app and just look up Community Connections with Children's Services Council, and the show through magic and technology will automatically be delivered to you every time we update it. But what do we do in this show besides talk about how you can access the show? What we do is we talk about resources and things that are available for children and families in our great community we call St. Lucie County. Now, why are we, meaning Ashley and I, hosting the show? Because we work for the Children's Services Council of St. Lucie County. We have the privilege to work for the Children's Services Council of St. Lucie County. And what we do at our organization is 5 things for our community. And those 5 things are: 1, making sure every baby's a healthy baby; 2, stopping child abuse before it happens; 3, keeping kids off the streets; 4, keeping them in school; and 5, keeping them off drugs, alcohol, and other risky behaviors by offering programs and resources, 51 in total, not including the summer, 51 in total, that are available to all children and families in St. Lucie County.
So 51 in total is a lot, and coincidentally we have 52 weeks, although I don't know that we get all of them on the radio show.
To be honest, we might have 52 programs. I forget.
Well, we have these weird timelines and we don't often talk about that on the show, but Sean and I are already planning into like October, November. So we're living in the past or working in the future. I'm not sure.
We're time traveling.
One of those 2 things. We're time traveling. So we do utilize this show to talk about those programs. But this is not the only way that you can learn more about them. You can visit us on our website, which is cscslc.org. We have a list of all of our funded program partners there, along with their contact information. So if there is something that you are looking for your family, a neighbor's family, a coworker's family, all the information about those resources can be found there on our website. We also share a lot of information about those programs on Facebook, so you can find us there and follow us on Facebook. There are other children's services councils, and you can follow them too. They're just not as fun and entertaining as we are. So word of caution there. But find us on Facebook. We share a lot of information there, not just about our programs, but about events that are taking place in the community, where we have been, where our team has been out in the community. So there's a lot to learn from following us there about what's going on. So lots of different ways to get connected to us.
The pandemic kind of pulled the curtain back. We used to pretend like we were live on Sunday, and now the cat's out of the bag that we, pre-record, because it's really hard to get guests on a Sunday at 10 a.m. I'm not going to lie. And then produce a video and get the podcast out in a timely manner. And I say all that to say that today is May the 4th. So may the 4th be with you. That's a Star Wars reference. And, I'm a big Star Wars fan. It goes back to my dad taking me out of school early, not out of school, picking me up right when the bell rang to go see Star Wars the day that it premiered back in 1979. I won't say what grade I was in, but I say all that because I don't know if anyone that listens to the radio program wants to see the video version, but there are like Star Wars hints in my office, and I'm going to point to one right there.
There's so many,
and I don't know if anyone's ever picked up on that, but if I move my head, there's a couple of other ones too. So I say all that to say that even though it's Sunday, for those Star Wars fans, I hope you had a good May the 4th.
We also, if anybody's attended the concert previously, we always have a Star Wars piece in the concert.
Right. Yeah, it's Star Wars kind of became a holiday thing because they always release movies there. So we'd always say, those of you who chose not to go to the Star Wars premiere, thank you for coming to our concert.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
So, all right. So I'm sure we don't want to talk about Star Wars the whole time, and I know we have a great guest that's waiting, but I want to remind everybody that you probably have already determined this. It's getting warmer outside. It's starting to rain more frequently. They're already talking about how many named hurricanes we're going to have. Those are all Florida precursors to let you know that summer is rapidly approaching. Plus, your child's probably like going through testing right now, and the countdown is on, right? Especially. Yeah, the countdown is on. So just a simple reminder that every year the Children's Services Council, all of our after school programs turn into summer programs, but also we fund and make available additional summer camps. I believe is there 22 total this year?
I actually think there's 30, including our existing sites and the additionals that we wrapped in there. So 30 in total.
So again, obviously we're not real good at counting when it comes to our programs, but maybe 30 plus offerings or sites available in our county, north, east, south, and west, Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce. We did get a couple comments that, whoa, it looks like there's a lot more in Fort Pierce. Don't look at the number, look at the capacity, because the larger summer camps are in Port St. Lucie. When I say larger, 100 plus kids, and some of the Fort Pierce ones are 20 or 30 kids. But bottom line is, if you don't know what your child's doing in the summer, jump on it now, because they're starting to fill up. The information is available on our website. Just look up cscslc.org. It's going to be one of the banners on the main page, and click call the provider, get enrolled, get registered to make sure that your child has somewhere fun and productive to go during the summer.
We are already hearing that some of the locations are on a wait list or are full. And so I'm trying to make those updates on the website as we go and we learn that information. So if it says that they're on a wait list, don't not call because of that, because we all know that things change and things can happen. But just again, a reminder that we're getting really close. And if you haven't decided yet, you might want to start thinking about that.
So before we get to our guests, I know you have a special announcement about our show that you want to mention.
Yeah, so if you guys have listened for the last couple of weeks, we had a really cool opportunity a couple weeks ago. We got to talk to the Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year, Mia Morrison, who is just an absolutely incredible young person in our community. But a lot of the conversation that we had with her really steered towards mental health. That's a platform that she has sort of taken on as the Youth of the Year for our community this year, and now for the state of Florida, which is incredible. But I just wanted to remind everybody that show is available to listen to. And I think it's really important. We have this conversation a lot in our office, that there's not a lot of opportunity for kids to tell us how they're feeling about something, about life, about what's happening in our community. And Mia does that during our conversation with her, and she does it really well. And so just as we're paying attention to mental health and having these conversations, I would encourage you to just take a couple of minutes and listen to what she says in that conversation with us, because it's really powerful. And I know that she's not the only youth in our community that feels that way. So it's on our YouTube. You can link to it from our website. It's kind of everywhere. So wherever you need to find it, please find it and listen to it, because it really is powerful.
If you're one of those brave souls that downloaded the podcast or subscribed to the podcast, but I know we're up to like 600 something or whatever.
We are. We're getting very fancy.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. It'll be on the list of the past episodes. And if you're like Sean, that's great. But Ashley, I don't want to listen to a half hour. You can skip our banter at the beginning and just jump to the good part, the meat of the program, if you will, which is about 20 minutes with Mia and her coordinator from the Boys and Girls Club, who is also very phenomenal.
Yes. Definitely.
All right, I'm going to let our guests in because they're waiting very patiently, and I know they're excited to be here.
So I mentioned that we kind of time travel on the show. And so we're talking about today a future event that's coming, but it's important, and it's important for our community. And we wanted to make sure that we gave it its due. So we've got two really great individuals with us today. One of them being Denise Sirmons, who is not a new face on the show. I feel like
I thought you were going to say not a Zoom professional.
No, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say not a new face. we do have to twist her arm to come and be a guest on the show.
And
she does show up.
This is important for our radio listeners and podcast listeners. You need to go check out the video of this, because I think Denise, who we've been on Zooms before, has strategically placed her light to look like a halo over her head while she's on Zoom. So well done, Denise. Well done. We already knew you were an angel. Now we can see it.
Impressive. That is impressive. So Denise, thank you for joining us. I know that we're going to talk about Juneteenth today, which obviously is coming up. That is not your full-time job. You are actually in your full-time job location right now, which is at the Lincoln Park Community Center. But I know that Juneteenth is something that is near and dear to your heart, that you've been working really hard on for a long time in our community. So thank you for that. I know we're excited about what's happening this year too.
Yes. Thank you all for everything. And then what I must give this plug to CSC, because we've been doing Juneteenth for 22 years and they have supported us for 22 years. I was looking back on photos from 2008, 2000, and I was like, Marjorie, gosh, CSC has been with us all the way. So we appreciate
I looked young back then, didn't I? I looked young back then, didn't I?
What did we look like then?
Well, I had better days. I'll say that. I had better days.
I'm glad you're making sure to make that a point with Marjorie too.
Yes, because I kind of took the brunt of it for you all. So I started dealing with you because before, your radio shows had to be Marjorie and they were kind of long, but it worked out. But she's still here. She's our chairperson still for Juneteenth. Kind of honorary. She can't run around like she used to, but she is still there championing for Juneteenth and freedom for all. So I'm happy about that. I'm glad to still have her around doing the work. So I do still make her work. I just don't give her.
I believe
she's like, well, Denise, you can do this. And I was like, no, you need to go take care of some stuff. So I make her do that.
Well, we certainly appreciate that. So I know we've got some specifics that we want to talk about, some of the things that you guys are planning for this year, but kind of back up for us, since we know now that there is a long history of celebrating Juneteenth in our community, and kind of talk to us, Denise, about how that came about and how you guys have gotten to the point that you're at today, and really the support that the city has given, that lots of organizations have come on board over those 22 years.
So I think years ago, when we first started Juneteenth, it was one summer, somebody kind of said, why aren't you all celebrating Juneteenth? And we're like, what's Juneteenth? And so we just kind of, we looked it up. Marjorie, she's a history buff. So she's looking around, she's like, this is really a holiday. So this is actually one of the longest African-American holidays in the country. So I think it's been going on since 1865. And we just realized how important it is for community, for youth to actually know about their history. So we understand that here at Lincoln Park Community Center, we understand that about the community. So we've been doing it for 22 years, but for I think about 6 of those years, we were doing Preventing Crime in the Black Community Conference that you all actually helped to sponsor with us, with the city of Fort Pierce and different organizations from Ended to Terrence at Sword Ministries, Boys and Girls Club. So we partnered for that. And then it was great for those kind of 6 years that we did that, because it got our youth involved. So we would do Preventing Crime. We would come back and we would actually put on the Peace Walk with the youth. We did a Speak Up, Speak Out. We've done youth symposiums with them. So it was great for those kids to kind of get the knowledge of what Juneteenth is. So now that it's a federal holiday and people are kind of just knowing about, the youth are able to actually educate them. Like, we've been doing this for a while and we know about it. So it's just important for people to understand freedom for all. And that goes not just for Juneteenth, but for a lot of activities that we're doing there in different places, because we want to educate the entire community. So we're going to do a lot of different things during the week. And someone asked me, why are we doing a week-long celebration? And I told them, because different people are going to come to different things. and the education. We want to make sure that we're kind of touching a little bit, because some people may not be able to come to the festival, but they may come to the uncrowned queens. They may be able to come to the libation ceremony. The youth may not come to a libation ceremony, but they're definitely going to come to a youth funding. So it's important for us to spread this knowledge, and that's why we do so much for this actual event. So that's kind of how it goes.
And the whole agenda of the week, because it's a week long, right? Week long
Yes.
celebration. Is that available right now anywhere? Or are you still mapping that out?
I actually have it available, and we are going to put it. I think the city has it on their website. The county will have it on their website, and we'll have some hard copies around town. They can definitely come around to Lincoln Park Community Center and pick some up. Of course, we have our Juneteenth committee. We have Miss Betty Bradwell, these hard workers in the community, Mary Sirmons, Marjorie, they're handing it out in their churches. We have Zoe Live that works with us with our musical aspect, and our Kids at Hope Choir. I haven't told you all about that. It's coming. It's here this year. We're doing something good. And so they're going to have it in numerous places in the community, just information. We'll have flyers up. So when you see the white signs that said Juneteenth, that's here at the Lincoln Park Community Center and different places in the community. All supported by CSC.
We talked about how Denise was in her office at work doing the Zoom, but you brought a guest who's definitely in his work environment, because
yes.
Before we went live, he panned to the, I guess it would have been to his right, and we saw the students that are in his classroom.
He's pulling double duty
cool
today.
Yeah. So kudos for Lerel for winning the award for best multitasker of the day. But Denise, do you want to talk about what Lerel is bringing to the Juneteenth event?
So Lerel is actually going to, so Zoe Live is our, what are you for us? No, actually, he's our promoter. So he's doing the music aspect of it. So he's actually creating a Kids at Hope. I kind of tasked him to create a Kids at Hope choir, because that was near and dear to my heart. He's done it in the past. So I'm going to kind of tell you this little quick story about Lerel. So when his mother was living, maybe a year or two before she passed, she made him come back from New York. And she said, I want you to go over to Lincoln Park Community Center, and I want you to do something with the kids. And so she made Lerel create a Kids at Hope choir. And it was great. He came in for like maybe 2 weeks. And I think every day he was over here with the kids, and we had kids from different organizations come in. And I was like, God, he's awesome. And I didn't really realize all the things that he did until now. So I'm going to let Lerel kind of talk about himself a little bit, but that's kind of how he started with the Kids at Hope choir originally.
Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Ashley and Denise. I'm glad to be on with you guys. I'm just excited, first of all, for the celebration of Juneteenth and the relationship that they have with the Children's Council Services, seeing just a great opportunity to touch not just the kids, but all the families in general in the community. We were able to come together last year during a pandemic, and Denise basically said, well, we need to do something to bring everybody together where we could celebrate life and having hope, because it was a very tough season. That was a very transparent conversation she had with me. And she said, I don't want the music to be crazy. I want it to be something celebrating that could bring everybody together. So I said, well, let's go for inspirational, And she said, yeah, let's do it. And I was fortunate to be able to help bring the featured artists for that event. And then this year, I was asked to let's expand it out. Let's bring maybe 2 or 3 more artists. So we're going to feature some of your local talents, such as Nisi. We just didn't go by that first name. Everybody that knows her in the community for singing, we call her Nisi. Very talented, comes from a talented family in the St. Lucie County area. She'll be our featured artist for St. Lucie County. We also are looking at, there's this worship leader out of Christ Fellowship. His name's Nakesh Lopez, and just amazing talented vocalist. He'll be featuring that as a talent that day. And our featured artist would be William Murphy. He's an amazing gospel artist, Grammy nominated, just extremely talented. We have to tell you another story, Sean, about that off camera, how the community embraced him. He was trying to leave and go to the airport, and some of the people for the community last year didn't want him to leave. They just kind of just wanted him to stay and just hang out. But I'm just super excited just to be able to bring that together. But with that, we're just looking forward to a great year. It's going to be a great occasion on June 18th, as well as we're going to have the kids at Hope Choir. They're going to be singing on the 14th, I believe it is, for the uncrowned kings and queens. Maybe Denise can share more about that. But I'm looking forward to bringing together the kids. We do have a kids choir, Kids at Hope, and it's going to be just a wonderful celebration of
That's great. That's great. So Denise, I got to be curious. The kids are in the Kids at Hope Choir. Do they come from your community center?
Actually, some of them are coming from Zoe Live, but what Lerel is going to do for 2 weeks, we're inviting any church, any organization, any kid that would love to participate in the choir. They can contact Lerel. Lerel gave me his number before, but I'm gonna make sure you get it. But I didn't write it.
I can hear you now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Lerel's going to give you his number and they can contact him. And then what we're going to have is we're going to have 2 weeks of rehearsal with these youth. That's all Lerel needs. He's going to have about 4 or 5 rehearsals. He's just that good with them. I've seen him in action. And then he's going to work with us too, Sean.
Well, I was going to ask Lerel, let's say somebody on this screen could sing. Now they deny that they can sing, but we've got confirmation from their mother that they can sing. Is there an age limit to this choir? Let's say somebody roughly turned around 40, let's say this year. Just helping narrow down on this screen. And trust me, I've got permission to say that because she said it on air before. But and she can sing, but she kind of denies it a little bit, a little reluctant. Will you help bring that out? Because not only for this choir, but also for the Sounds of the Season concert.
Yes.
I'm in full support of that. I think we need some guest appearances from CSC for sure.
All right.
Lerel,
I don't know if you picked up on this actually, but we're talking about you. but sincerely, if somebody's listening and they've got children or grandchildren and they want to partake in the choir, is there an age range? And then I know you're going to give out your number that they need to call.
Yes, we're doing the school ages. We're looking for actually, I think that we're setting it for kindergarten to, actually we're up to now 8th grade. So we want to keep it kind of at that range of, so you can reach me 772-828-0545, again, 772-828-0545. And we will be announcing the rehearsal date. It will be at the community center, Lincoln Park Community Center. And we will get the time. We're just confirming if it's going to be in the afternoon or in the actually early evening. So once we get that confirmed, we will release the time.
So it would be great if anyone listening and your child is maybe, it's that summertime, right? And we just talked about how your child needs to be in a summer camp. So they could technically enroll at the Lincoln Park Community Center for summer camp and then also partake in the choir. And it's a win-win for everybody, right, Denise?
Yes, I love it. I love it.
And no matter what time you do the practice, actually, you are free to attend. You can have work release. If it's at 4 o'clock, leave work early to, make sure that you're all good for the choir and everything.
I appreciate that, Sean. Thank you.
I'm excited about that. I really want to see Ashley on the stage. She can bring her kids. They can participate in the choir. So it can be a family affair. I love this concept.
Yes.
So, and I know that Lerel is definitely going to bring out her solo voice. We may just have like a 10-second solo from her. So I'm excited.
I'm going to stop by and see you later, Denise.
And I think people are just going to come out just to see that, So, that's, when you have those featured artists like Ashley, people just come out for that. Yeah.
And Denise, we talked before we went live. If she's willing to sing, you and I are willing to lip sync in the background, the backing vocals, right? See? All right. So in all seriousness, let's get back on track, folks. In all seriousness, if anybody has a child, kindergarten, sounds like 8th grade or so, and they want to partake in the Juneteenth event and be part of it, because it's a big event. It's a great celebration. It's a celebration of not only history, but also of community. I call Lerel at 772-828-0545, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so Denise, you're going to have the agenda, you're going to have the schedule, you're going to be marketing it to the community, you're going to have it on the city's website, the county's website. We'll obviously talk about it on radio show upcome as we lead to it, if not having you back on. But is there, okay, so let's say I'm interested in attending, but maybe there's audiences out there that are wanting to be part of the celebration. Is there room for sponsorships? Is there room for tables? Is there anything like that that people can get involved with?
There's room for sponsorships always. We need as much help as we can because we're making it organically growing it. And so as we organically grow it, we want it to sustain. So, you know, we've been doing it for 22 years. We want to make sure that we're able to have the concert in the park and do those type of things also. But we do have vendor spots for the 18th. And we also want people to join us also. Especially one of the main things, our peace walk, it's so important for us to promote peace and unity in this community. That's one of the biggest things for me, that we unite to kind of, and let our youth see it. So we want people to come out to the peace walk. Last year, we were on national news as one of the Juneteenth celebrations. I didn't get an opportunity to see it, but someone took a little
It was
snippet.
you.
I was still working.
You.
I was still working. So I didn't get an opportunity to see it, but we definitely want our youth to come out to some of the things that we're having. Can I talk about that, Sean, now?
Sure. Wait, we have 3 minutes left, but I'm still stuck on, you didn't see the news coverage? Like you don't have a computer or Google or a phone? You didn't check that out at all?
No.
All right. We're going to find that link.
You know, so the funny thing, during summer, this is also my summer camp season and Juneteenth season at the same time. So while I'm working on Juneteenth, I think people don't understand that I'm up 3 o'clock in the morning trying to do flyers and everything for Juneteenth. And then I come here to working on summer camp. So I'm doing both that. I'm kind of a one-woman show right now, but it's been great because I know the importance of both of them. So I understand the importance of summer camp and I understand the importance of Juneteenth. So it's a labor of love, I'll say.
So we got a couple minutes left. Tell everybody in 2 minutes or less about your summer camp, and then we'll adjust your halo.
Okay. So my summer camp starts on June 6th. It is an 8-week program here at the Lincoln Park Community Center. We also have a teen camp that we host at Paradise Park. So our summer camp here at Lincoln Park Community Center is from ages 5 to 10. We still have a few spots. We don't have any sponsorship spots, but parents can pay $65 a week. We are part of the Passport program.
Summer Passports.
Summer Passport, where we're able to allow kids to do some great things that we're going to be doing this year from STEM. I think our kids are actually going to do a little yachting or sailboating. I'm not happy. I won't be out there, but definitely we'll present it. Canoeing. My kids love canoeing. I'm not going to get out in the water because I cannot swim, but we make sure they do that. And we also have a pool right across the street. So we're hoping that, I think you all are sponsoring swim lessons this year with St. Lucie County. And we will definitely be trying to get them over there and me to learn how to swim. And then we have another camp. Thank you. Paradise Park, 11 to 13. So we hold our teen camp in a different location. So we're able to service more students by splitting them up into separate places.
And all that information can be found on the county's website?
You can find that information at Lincoln Park Community Center, or you can definitely call me at 772-462-1788. Again, that's 772-462-1788.
And I should say, and I so actually give me a look. It's also, the information on your camp is also available on our website, as we talked about at the beginning of the show. Sorry about that.
And yes, and our sponsorship is through CSC for our students, and we have had orientations. The parents are really excited about summer, and so am I.
That's awesome. All right, so we are at the end of our time. I want to thank both Denise and Lerel for coming on, especially Lerel, who literally is in his classroom and took time out with the kids on the side to spend some time with us. We greatly appreciate it. If you're interested in joining the Kids at Hope Choir and being part of the Juneteenth event, call Lerel at 772-828-0545 for the choir, and call Denise, one, just to tell her how good her halo looks, but also to let her know that you want your child to enroll in her summer camp or participate, or if you want to be a sponsor of Juneteenth or just learn more about it, you can give her a call at 772-462-1788.
Thank you.
Thank you both for coming on. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Lerel, big shout out to your kids for like keeping quiet this whole time. Like that is impressive stuff.
Yes.
Thank you.
We want to, and we want to give a big shout out to all of our listeners and viewers. Reminder that it's a weekly radio show every Sunday on 104.5 The Flame at 10 a.m. Our great, wonderful partner. Because we can't stop there, it's also, you can find the recordings of this. We post it on our Facebook page, but you can look up our YouTube channel. Just look up Children's Services Council, St. Lucie County. And if you want to be in the know all the time, as soon as it's released, subscribe to the podcast. Just go to your favorite podcast app, including Apple, and look up Community Connections with Children's Services Council, and the shows will automatically be sent to you, because this show is for you and our community, because it's our children, our community, our future. Now more than ever, folks, we're all in this together. We'll see you next time.
In a world where seconds can be the difference between life and death, I realize I was born for this. I am prepared. I am present. I am Dad, the Water Watcher.